5-0.
5-0.
New nicknames needed. Now, I'm not one to give myself a nickname, and I'll never do that.
You've done it 3 times this year.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a trend, though.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So 2-3 Tuck is no longer
it
case
is not.
until this week when I go 0-5.
No. No.
5-0, you're a hoe.
5-0, what a beauty day.
Yeah. You know, what are you going to do?
It's just...
You make the picks, and sometimes they go 5 for 5.
Yeah, I tell you what, that was carried the show because I had my first losing week.
Yeah, that was a bad one by you. I think that's an all-timer for you and for me.
What, 2-3? 2-3.
I thought you won 4, no?
No, 2-3. Hit the
Really?
Yeah, I had the two double likes. We had my best bet hit. Packers smashed. Lions also. I had the Lions.
Okay.
So that's 2. That's
and you lost the Jets. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, 2-3. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
Didn't miss the best
2-3,
bet.
Not that bad.
Didn't miss the best bet.
All
That's most important.
All right. Well, overall, why don't you just give us a quick recap here?
Yeah, quick recap while we're starting
on it.
So yeah, let's start with you. 5-0, buddy. Best bet Falcons. Close, but pulled it away in the end. Andy Dalton turned into Andy Dalton. So nice pick there and a nice cover. Win. Jags Bears, big second half from the Chicago offense.
I was sweating that one early.
Yeah, late second quarter.
I must say, yeah.
Late second quarter, the Jags decided to quit, and that really helped the over.
Why do you think they quit? Because of the 4 friggin' drops they had in the first half or whatever it was? Holy crap.
By the time I even posted the picks, Gabe Davis had already dropped a touchdown. I was ready to throw my phone through the wall.
Like, it was Gabe had 2 drops, Thomas had 1 drop, and Kirk had another drop.
Yeah.
It's like Trevor Lawrence, I know he sucked, but he's been decent the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, he takes the blame because he's the quarterback, but team
he put the ball there.
I mean, you can't. What is he going to do? You can only do so much. I mean, he didn't have his greatest game either, but at the end of the day, how many drops can you have?
Yeah,
and just kills momentum. And then Caleb played well, so easy over for you in the end. Texans -7, easy winner. I was worried for you on that one, but nope.
Can I just say, just real quick?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many, and obviously we live in Patriots Nation.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I heard Patriots +7, Patriots +6.5. I love it. It's Drake May time. I'm like, guys, the quarterback on this team, albeit he should be Drake May, and he should have been since week 1. It doesn't matter on this garbage team.
They're bad.
Texans -7 might have been my easiest pick last week. I don't know what any of you guys are smoking. I'm all for excitement in terms of being a fan and watching a new rookie quarterback, number 3 overall pick. I get it. But in terms of a spread, how are the Pats even going to come close to the same universe as the Houston Texans? You lost by 20.
Yeah, when I went on your show, the radio show, I said that I didn't bet the game.
WEI, Tucker and Kitchen.
That's right.
103.7.
Saturday mornings. Make sure you listen. And you can see that you guys asked me about the game, and I said I didn't really particularly like it. Lean Pats if I had to bet it at 7. A little bit about the spot for the Texans coming off the Bills, going to Green Bay.
Doesn't
this
matter.
week.
It doesn't matter with the Pats. It doesn't matter.
Well, there's also the unexpected, right? There's no film on Drake May. That could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think you saw a little bit of both, so we'll talk about the Pats. But
2 picks, 1 fumble.
I mean, we'll talk there when we get there. But a little bit of what you expected.
But just, and we'll talk more about the Pats. I just don't want to dwell on this. But I will say that was my easiest pick.
Yeah,
last
sometimes
week,
you overthink.
Was Texans -7.
Sometimes you just overthink things. You overthink things.
Yeah. All right, keep going. Sorry.
Packers -5.
Double
you had as a like. It was
best bet,
there, and that was an easy winner. No sweat there. And the Lions -3 might have the easiest bet of the day, as we said. So 5-0, Tuck. 15-15 on the year now, so a nice.
Needed that.
I told you.
Needed that.
It is not a sprint. Gambling's a marathon.
Yep.
So now you're back on track. So
yep.
Nice week for you, buddy.
Much
needed. Can't do much better. All right, over to me for a recap. I had Green Bay as my best bet, another easy win. We just talked about that one. No issues there. The Jags +2.5. They quit very early on. That was frustrating. In it early, and they were just disgusting. Wrong side. It was not something I was excited to start my Sunday with. I'll tell you that. Yeah. Philly -8.5. This game drove me absolutely crazy. 10-3 about to go into the half. They decide to kick a 56-yard field goal. It gets blocked.
Yeah.
Cleveland returns it. All of a sudden, it's a tie game. The Browns had no points with 3 minutes to go in the half. All of a sudden, they go into halftime tied at 10. That team sucks. Sirianni yelling at his fans. We'll get to Philly. That guy. Anyways, they didn't cover because A.J. Brown decided to just go down.
Well, no, let's talk about him now. What he did on Sunday when he was like chirping at Eagles fans.
Oh, yeah.
And then he brings his kids to the post-game press conference to protect him.
Total loser.
And trying to be like a cute dad. Like, no, dude, you knew exactly what you were doing. You're being a douchebag bringing your kids up there because you wanted to protect yourself against the tough questions of chirping at the fans because you knew you fucked up.
Yeah,
and
also.
You're a pussy for doing that.
Totally. And also.
There's one thing to bring your kids, if you win the game and you want to celebrate and it's a nice moment, that's different. But with this, no, fuck that.
Yeah, and
guy's a pussy.
Like, at the end of the day, like, I totally agree with you. The guy just, what are you doing? Like, honestly, like you didn't win the NFC East. You didn't win this
so much.
Like, get out of there. This is a time when the media is going to ask you difficult questions. You just beat the Cleveland Browns, who have been a lifeless organization this year.
Yeah,
and by 4 points,
barely won. Yep,
at home, you could do nothing on offense. Like, disgusting. You got 2 big plays, one to A.J. Brown, one to Devonta Smith. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, they
Coming off
were
a bye.
terrible.
Coming off a bye.
He deserved to be asked questions, but the heat to him, and he put his kids up there. You absolute loser.
What a clown.
Loser.
He's going to lose his job. I think it's a matter of time, and it's probably going to be at the end of this year.
I hope so. I hate the guy.
He sucks. Keep going.
Hope he keeps it because he's choking that team right out of the NFC. Detroit -3. That was a win for me. Double like there. Felt square tuck, but I'll tell you what, that's fine.
We should, honestly,
whatever. That was easy.
I kind of the Detroit thing. We should have looked at the adjusted line for that one, like double digit. We should have done that.
Yeah,
I wonder what that like a 10-point spread on that was. We should have. 3 was weird, man.
Well, I mean, that's why you don't. That's why you don't.
You brought up the biggest factor was the revenge game of the ineligible receiver.
They just wanted to pound him.
I mean, they threw that guy out at wide receiver last week.
Yeah, did you see that when they tried to get Penei Sewell a touchdown? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And there was clearly a motivating factor there, and Dan Campbell used to be with the Cowboys and everything, so
it's beautiful.
We should have saw that one coming, and we should have dabbled on the adjusted spread on that one.
Yep. Well, easy win there. And then Monday night, the Jets continue to jet.
I barely watched that game.
Well, I watched every second of it. And for the entire game, I was like, the Jets are going to win this game. Somehow, some way, they're just going to win this game. They were controlling the game. I mean, Breece Hall broke a long run in the second half, Tuck, and zero reason why he didn't score a touchdown. Just didn't cut back. Taylor Rapp tackled him. Then they get a touchdown from Braylon Allen, call back for holding. I mean, everything went wrong that could go wrong. 2 missed field goals off the goal post for Zerline. Like, it was just disgusting. They had no reason to lose the game other than the fact that they're the Jets and this is what they do, and they lose by 3.
Rodgers has had one good game against. It was against the Patriots. He was like good game where he looked like elite Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's been.
And it was against the worst team in the league.
Okay at best.
Yeah,
I mean he can't move back there anymore. That's one thing that's pretty noticeable.
Right. Well, we'll talk about the Jets more. We do have a pick related to them. All right, well, let's move on to
quick standings update. Just for transparency.
Yep,
transparency is key here. 2-3 week for me. So 15-15 for you overall in the season. 4-2 on your best bets.
Cool.
18-11-1 for me now on the season. 4-1-1 on best bets.
All right, so we are above. I'm at 500 for overall record, above 500 for overall best bets, and the podcast as a whole is doing pretty well.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Pretty freaking well.
You know what? We're gonna keep the momentum going. I'm back this week. I put in a lot of work. I'm telling you right now, I have a lot today. I got a lot to say.
All right. Well, it's week 7 here. I'll just say right out of the chute here, it's a tough card. I don't know what you.
I hated last week. I like this card.
Okay.
Today. I like this
all right.
card.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. I had a difficult time, but I'm still feeling pretty good with the picks I have here. So I don't know. Hopefully they hold up. Hopefully I can carry over 5-0 here. Bye week teams this week. We have the Chicago Bears and the Dallas Cowboys. Much needed bye week for the Dallas Cowboys, I might say.
Jesus Christ.
Jerry Jones, holy shit, dude. Trying to get a radio guy fired.
Yeah, what was that? I heard a little bit this morning on that.
So like he does this, like he's affiliated, or they have the rights to like this radio station, whatever it is. He's got like a significant stake in it.
Yeah.
And he has this weekly segment on with the radio guys. And he was just like, he didn't appreciate the questions of, it was something along the lines of what Jerry Jones did in the offseason. And
all in.
Long story short, Jerry Jones was just like, I can find another guy to do your job.
Oh, that's good. That's
It's
good,
just
Jerry.
like, dude, like, what do you want him to ask you? He's doing his job.
You
Like,
just lost by 700 points.
Right.
The guy can't ask you why.
And did you see when the Cowboys tweeted out something about their Jumbotron? If you looked at the Jumbotron,
Yeah.
they blurred out the score.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah. That was
it's just
good.
like, this guy.
Totally soft.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no one in the building knows the score, buddy.
Yeah. Jackass.
He scored 17 touchdowns
What a
against you.
joke he is, and that
Loser.
franchise is. Honestly. The fact that they haven't moved on from Mike McCarthy, I don't understand it.
No, keep him.
I
Keep
really
him.
don't.
Love it.
It makes absolutely no sense, but that's Jerry Jones being Jerry Jones.
Yep.
Well, we're not going to dwell on the Cowboys here. And I will point out, as we head into this Week 7 slate, the past 2 weeks, NFL underdogs against the spread, 7-20-1.
Yep. 7-20-1, 9-0 road favorites last week. That
9-0
was as
road
square
favorite. Wow.
as square as like Vegas got destroyed this week.
Did-
One of their
did they?
worst
Okay.
weeks in years. I mean, every friggin'
Well, you got a
favorite
guy.
one.
You got a guy like me making 5.
Well, no, I mean, hey, whatever. I mean, I think there were 2 or 3 underdogs who covered. Cleveland was one. I had Philly, so there was one of them.
yeah. I mean, just look at the favorites we just went through. Like Falcons versus Panthers, square. Texans versus Pats, square. Packers versus Cardinals, not square, but teetering on square.
We
and then
knew-
Lions at Cowboys -3. I
Yeah.
think that's square.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
the squares won out last week, man.
it wins in the NFL every now and then. So
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's not to be like a total negative thing. I ended up on the Chargers after the show. I ended up betting them 3.5. I said on the show like there's
Yeah.
something weird with this line, so I'm like, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Chargers covered, Steelers.
Yep.
I mean everyone, Falcons, everybody. It's just everybody covered.
Right. All right, so let's move on here to Week 7. If you haven't done so already, like us, subscribe to us on YouTube, socials,
Yes.
Instagram, X. I said YouTube, right? Yeah.
You
and
got
then give us a subscribe and a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify, please. Very much do appreciate it. All right, let's move to Week 7 here. I've said that 5 times already. Likes. Let's get right into the likes here, and then we'll do the rest, and then the best. Matt, what is your first like
All right.
for Week 7?
Let's go first. Like today, we'll go with the Seattle Seahawks +3 here.
Your like for me, I will say that.
Seahawks come into this game with the number 1 passing offense in football. Tuck, from a statistics standpoint, they have to throw a lot, partially because they're losing a lot of these games, but they were also up there after the first 3 games, and they were 3-0 and trying to run the ball and control the clock a little bit. I really like the Seattle offense. They actually did show me quite a bit in the 49ers game on the Thursday night game that we were not allowed to give out bets, but said the 49ers would be one of my best bets of the week, and they would win by double digits. They did. So, Seattle still, though, their offense can play. They have a good offense. Their defense has been a little bit banged up. I thought they were a little overrated out of the gate when the rankings had them at the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've come back to earth a little bit. They've dealt with some injuries, but now they're getting a little bit closer. In Atlanta, man, they just keep playing close game after close game after close game, and while they're winning them,
Last week was close for a period.
I mean, it was a one-possession game
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
fourth quarter, and Andy
Yep.
Dalton was in the red zone. He
Yep.
threw an interception,
Yep.
and then that's when the Falcons pulled away. Yeah, that right here was the next
Right,
point.
right.
So, like, it's just one of these games that feels like Seattle's lost 3 in a row, and because of that, I think you're going to get a little bit of desperation out of them. This is a big game for the Seahawks coming off the loss to the 49ers.
Thursday night football.
Thursday night football, so you got a little bit of extra rest, right? So you get that mini bye week, as they like to say. I like that for Seattle coming into this game. These two are really actually similar teams. Both
Yep.
play offense very similar. They like to throw. Neither can run the ball, believe it or not, with Bijan and Algier. Even though you're looking at that team, you're like, well, they're getting the run going. From a statistics side of the house, they're really not good running the ball. They're actually just what are they? 21st in the league right now running the ball.
Seahawks?
No, Atlanta 113
yeah.
a game. So,
Yeah.
like, now the Seahawks are a bottom dweller. They're 29th in the league. But
Well,
just
that's because Walker had been hurt.
Walker's hurt, but him and Charbonnet give you a nice little combo there. So, Charbonnet more of a pass catcher, but can run the ball too. So, like, think you get them. They both play defense the same way, right? Like, both of these teams want to throw. Both of these teams struggle a little bit more in the run game, but I think you're going to see a little bit more running from both teams, trying to get that, open up the pass game, because both defend the pass better than they stop the run. So it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to have a lot of points in this game. The over-under 51.5 now seems a little bit high, but I do lean the over if I had to pick one of the two. I just think we're going to get a close game, and in a close game, give me the dog.
Yep.
Desperation game for them. And
like
Seattle likes one thing about Seattle. This is the type of game they sneaky win over the years, and this is the same sort of team. So I like Seattle.
It seems like Atlanta's due to drop one.
Yeah, and if they win, they've been even the 1-2 point games for Atlanta. They're sneaking out field goals to win. So even that, give me the 3 here. I'll take Seattle.
I will also mention that the Falcons have the Bucs on deck next week.
Yes, they do.
That's another huge factor. That was a near like for me. Seattle +3. I like it. My first like for the third week in a row, I am looking at the Green Bay Packers here. Tough matchup, Lambeau Field versus the Houston Texans. I have them at -2.5. I saw this morning. Has that changed? Is it now 3 in most places? Or are you seeing 2.5s anywhere?
2.5.
All right, give me the 2.5.
2.5 is very juiced. 3 is underjuiced, so it's kind of in the middle. It's like a 2.75. So if you want to pay for the juice, it's a 2.5.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be safe and get the 2.5, I'm fine with that. But I'm okay with 3 as well.
Yeah, it's teetering back and forth. You'll be able to get both.
Yeah, I mean, after watching the Texans pretty closely last week, as much as I could with 2 maniacs running around the house, they're legit Super Bowl contender. We all know that. But I did notice that there were some holes in their pass defense, and they ranked 22nd to opposing quarterbacks. Aside from Josh Allen, who at that time when the Bills played in Houston, he didn't have Khalil Shakir, who was probably his best pass catcher. Maybe you can make an argument for Dalton Kincaid, but still, the Bills needed that pass catcher, and that's why they went out and got Amari Cooper. But he didn't have Shakir that week. And aside from Josh Allen, Jordan Love will be the second best quarterback that the Texans have faced this year. Packers have more offensive weapons than the Bills, and I think that they're going to take advantage of what I thought a secondary with the Texans that had some holes in it. And again, Packers have one of the best home field advantages in the entire league. They're right up there. Texans, when they played Minnesota in week 2, they lost 34-7. Keep that in mind. Same division, similar team, I'd say. And they have the Colts on deck. Another divisional opponent next week, the Texans do. So give me the Packers -2.5. I could just see Stroud kind of struggling here a little bit versus that Packers defense.
Yeah. Numbers game for me, 2.5 with the Packers. I lean that way. I lean Houston at 3. I think this is priced to get action on both sides. I won't be on this game. I want to watch it, though.
It's a tough, yeah.
What a great card we have in the NFL league. Actually, a really good card across the board.
Yeah.
This is one I just want to watch. I lean the over. I think this is coming down.
What's that at?
47.5 most spots. I played it at 47. It was coming down, got down to 47, then bumped back up to 47.5. So I mean, I think there's going to be some points in this game. I like 2 offenses that can throw and run. Now that Joe Mixon's back for Houston, this is what's keeping me off the Packers.
Looked good last week.
He's a key to that team.
Yep.
He takes that team to a whole nother level, and
right, yeah. Another week of no Nico Collins, though, so it makes it easier for the Packers to game plan.
That's where you like Green Bay. It's that. So I'll be off it, but enjoy it. I'll root you home.
They're going to focus in on taking away the run with Mixon and make Stroud throw it in Lambeau Field. Yep. I think it's as simple as that. And I don't think Stroud has played at Lambeau, given it's his second year. He definitely hasn't.
Yep.
So that's another factor as well. I said that last week with Kyler Murray. It's a tough place to play if you're a young, inexperienced quarterback. Packers, my first like there. What do you got for your second like, Matt?
All right, buddy. This is a double like as I look at the board here.
Third straight week of double likes.
We've been doing well on the double likes.
We have. We should keep a separate double like
record. We do, buddy.
Record.
Guess what? Someone is, and it's 5-1 for the boys. So we'll take that.
Look at
all
us.
the way to the bank. 5-1 on double likes this year. So let's keep it going. Huh?
This line's disrespectful.
You want me to go or are you going?
You go, but I will just say, line is disrespectful.
It is disrespectful, and I don't care if I know it's going to be a square dog. I said it was square last week.
Very
with this
square,
team, and I don't care. Give me the Lions +2.5. Look, I get Minnesota's 5-0, and I get they're coming off a bye, and yes, I understand the Lions just lost their best player in Aiden Hutchinson, who is most likely probably the defensive player of the year at this point. He's definitely a candidate.
Not anymore.
No. But I don't understand this line at all, and I'm giving respect to Minnesota. I actually make the game Minnesota -1, but I can't get here. 2.5?
That's a lot of points.
I mean, let's break this down a little bit, okay? So first off, couple trends just to throw it out there. Home division faves, 45% against the spread since 2015. Home division favorites of 3 or less are just 44%, and that's over the last 10 years. And if you want to go back just to 2020, it's at 41%. So short favorites, as we call them, 3 or less. Not profitable betting those. Now, Minnesota and Detroit are almost identical defenses at the moment. Listen to this talk. Passing yards allowed. Detroit's 27th in the league, giving up 246 yards a game.
Okay.
Minnesota's 30th in the league, giving up 263. So very close there. Rushing yards.
Wow, they're that low, huh?
Both are giving up a ton of yards.
The Minnesota D has been their strength this season.
They're also ahead a lot.
Okay.
These two teams, you can understand where these stats come into play.
Yep.
Now, rushing yards allowed. Detroit, 3rd in the league, giving up 83 yards a game. Minnesota's 2nd in the league, giving up 67. This makes sense. Again, they're behind. You're not going to run as much. You're going to throw. So total yards allowed, Detroit 13th in the league, 329. Minnesota 14th in the league. I mean, they are 330, less than 1 yard a game difference on defense.
Yeah.
Now, yards per play, Minnesota 5th, Detroit 11th, but again, less than a yard. So here we go. On the offensive side of the ball, this is where I like the Lions. 4th in passing offense, 4th in rushing offense, 3rd in total offense, 3rd in yards per play for the Lions.
Yeah.
Minnesota,
Top 5 offense, no doubt.
Question.
Yep.
Minnesota, 19th in passing offense, 20th in rushing offense, 17th in total offense, 17th in yards per play. Detroit's got a massive edge on this side of the ball. With two defenses that are playing so close, like almost identical, I can only look one way here. Tuck, it's the Lions. Give me the Lions plus 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, that was in my notes that the Lions' offense is so much better than Minnesota's. And I know that Minnesota's coming off a bye here. Mm-hmm. They have an elite wideout in Justin Jefferson. There's just so many more weapons on Detroit, and that backfield is probably the best backfield in the league.
It's ridiculous.
With Gibbs and Montgomery, it's insane how good they are. Montgomery scored in every single game this season.
And the offensive line is the best in football.
They got back Frank Ragnow last week.
Rolling.
Yeah. Vikings have Thursday Night Football coming up in L.A. with the Rams, so maybe that's going to be a distraction for them. I mean, Lions beat Minnie twice last year.
Yep.
Let's not forget that.
Yep.
And what's the total on this game?
51.5.
Okay,
right now it's going up.
So I looked back this morning. In the last 4 matchups, they have surpassed that total 4 out of 4 times.
Yeah, there's going to be scoring.
It was a near like for me on the total there. I stayed away with it because I like the Lions spread or covering this more, so I went in that direction. But if you want to sprinkle a little bit of something on the over, 50.5.
Not against it.
History will speak for itself.
You can get some 50s out there, too, looking at that.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Double like there for the brother-in-laws there. My third like, now the square play, Matt. Square is shit.
Yeah.
I don't care how square it is. I'm taking it.
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Bills minus 8.5.
I like it.
Home versus the Titans. Listen, the Bills have had a tough stretch here. 3 straight road matchups, difficult matchups. You had Texans, Jets. They just came off of Monday Night Football, and there was one. Ravens, Sunday Night Football, there, yeah. Right? Tough stretch, man. Tough stretch here. So I don't care about the short week with Monday Night Football. They're going to be thrilled to get home against a layup opponent like the Tennessee Titans and Will Levis, the turnover machine there. The Amari Cooper trade is massive for this team, right? It's like a big FU to the Jets. Jets went out and got Devontae Adams. Hours later, Bills will go out and get Amari Cooper and be like, all right, we'll get our wide out. Mm-hmm. We'll see you there. Bills' schedule after this gets difficult. After the Titans, they're in Seattle after this week. Dolphins home. That's always tough with the division matchup. I don't care what you think about the Dolphins. In Indianapolis, Chiefs, Niners, in L.A., in Detroit. So another tough slate of games coming up here for the Bills. They're going to take care of business at home versus this not good Titans team. Seems like a lot of sharp money's coming in on the Titans. I don't know if you've seen any trends on that, but I've seen a lot of people saying like, "Oh, take the Titans points this week," and I'm like, it kind of feels similar to like Philly last week.
Don't like it
with the Browns, and I know that didn't hit for you.
Yeah, but
still, it's like the spot. It's like shitty opponent comes in. team that typically plays very well at home, elite team with Buffalo. Just give me that. Give me the Buffalo minus 8.5.
87% of the tickets, 71% of the money on the Bills. Opened 8.5, went up to 9.5. It's 8.5, 9, 9.5, all over the board right now. So
yeah, Cooper's going to be playing for them this week.
Yeah,
Shakir is getting healthier by the week.
I lean your way here.
Yeah. I don't know about the stats of James Cook. I'll say that, but Ray Davis looked pretty good.
Ray Davis is good.
Looked really good.
He's good in college.
Honestly, they don't need James Cook this week.
They don't need James Cook this week. And I thought Amari Cooper was also a nice little FU to the Chiefs because there were some rumors that he would go to the Chiefs, and he's
Sneaky.
a good possession receiver. And I don't think they care that much about the Jets because they just beat the Jets in their building. I think it's looking more at Kansas City and saying, you need a guy like Amari Cooper.
I wonder if there were whispers going around front offices that the Chiefs were kicking the tires on Devontae Adams. Adams goes to the Jets, and then the Bills were like, oh, shit, we got to go get Cooper now.
Maybe. From what I read, the Chiefs were never involved in Adams, but who knows?
They made a phone call.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They made a phone call, please.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. They probably checked in.
I don't know if Vegas was trading them to the Chiefs.
Well, that too, and the Chiefs with their cap implications, I'm sure they're right up against it. I know that money can be manipulated, but mid-season it's more challenging.
It's tougher, yeah.
They probably asked the Raiders if they wanted to take on some of the money, and they were like, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
So the Bills picked up the phone and won it for Cooper. There you go.
So I lean your way, Tuck. The one thing that worries me a little bit in this, actually, it doesn't even worry me, it actually supports you more, is cold front coming up in the east. Are we going to get some? But no, are we going to get some snow in Buffalo? It might.
I like
I'm saying
even
that's
more.
a good thing.
I like it even more.
I don't think we'll get snow, but who knows?
Give me the Bills by
cold.
2 touchdowns.
Yeah, if that's the case, I'll be on the Bills. I can tell you that.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's the only thing. I think points are going to be hard to come by from Tennessee in this game, and Buffalo is going to take care of business. I didn't play it, but I teased Buffalo, actually, if you like to tease.
Well, teasing's not nice, Matthew.
Teased the Bills to 2.5 with the Washington Commanders, down to 1.5.
Okay.
Against Carolina at home. So
how your teases been doing this year?
We're doing okay. I haven't played a ton of them, to be honest with you. Comparatively to last season, I'm just 6-3 on teasers this year.
I tried teasing once or twice.
Spot teasing this year.
I can't keep track of it. I just sucked at it. I'm like, all right.
Math?
Well, I struggle with math. I struggle with numbers. It just never clicked for me.
All right.
Well, and it's just too much to keep track of with teasers. I don't know. I'm just not good at them.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right, your fourth like, very interesting one, and it's in regard to the Chiefs.
Third like for me at this point, but it is the Chiefs going to San Francisco.
It is your third leg. What did I say? Fourth leg.
Yeah.
Third leg. Excuse me. See, I told you about numbers. Math, right?
Very confused.
I wasn't lying. The numbers I suck at.
Eyes were crossing over here. All good, though, Tuck. We'll pick you up. All right. Kansas City, San Francisco. I had to put this on the card because I have to have an opinion on this. In the summer, I bet the Chiefs. Well, literally bet the Chiefs at +1.5.
Well, that's why I was so stunned to see this pick this morning.
Yeah, well, things change. So
what changed? Because this summer you picked the Chiefs on this week.
And now I'm on the 49ers.
At -1 in the summer or +1?
+1.5.
In the summer.
Yep, in the summer.
And, okay, what changed?
The line didn't change much, but my opinion for this spot changed. So cashed out of the Kansas City, well, just not cashed out, but just doubled up my San Francisco bet to outweigh the Chiefs bet that I placed. Super Bowl revenge spot, as we knew in the summer, but
doesn't matter.
This game means more to San Francisco than it does the Chiefs. Quite honestly, it's a game that's been circled on their schedule since the release of the schedule for the 49ers. They've lost 4 straight to Kansas City, including 2 Super Bowls, which everyone knows.
Yeah.
And look, the Niners, when you watch this team, or I do very closely, right?
Do you?
A little bit. Something looks a little bit off this season. I know we talked on the podcast last week, and it's really 2 things. For one, it's their red zone. No Christian McCaffrey has been a problem for them in the red zone. They're kicking a lot of field goals, but that was slightly improved last week. They got to the red zone 5 times. They cashed 3 TDs in. Not perfect, but better.
Yeah.
Comparative to where they were.
New kicker looked good.
Yeah, he got the job done. Defense collapsing late. This almost happened again last week. I don't know if you were up watching the Thursday night game, but I sure was.
I did not stay up that late.
And it was 23-3 at one point, I want to say, or in
I went to bed.
Seahawks.
I went to bed thinking that the Niners were easily going to win that.
23-3.
So I missed the entire second half.
23-3, and Chenault runs a kickback after they scored a touchdown to go up 23-3, so it would be 23-10.
Fluky.
Yep. Then they get the ball. Then they held the Niners. They punt. Seahawks go right down the field, score again, 23-17. Now the Niners punt, and they go to review because the ball clearly touched the Seahawks player's hand. They go to review. And
didn't they mess this up? Yeah.
Totally messed it up.
Yeah.
Way off
no,
of Mike
right.
here, but totally missed it. And frustrating as a fan. You're sitting here watching. You can clearly see the direction of the ball change. Clearly see it hit his finger.
It was like a fingertip, yeah.
And they were like, didn't hit him.
That's why they need to put sensors in the balls or something.
Cool. But I'll tell you what. That's a spot where the Niners, you have to be in your own head blowing these late game leads. And to have that happen to you again on the road where like, okay, we should have just had the ball. Instead of folding, they get a 3-and-out. And then Seattle stopped them again. They punt back to Seattle, and they got an interception from a rookie stepping up in an injury situation. A huge play.
Are you going to bring this back to the Chiefs
yes,
at any point
I am.
this fucking century?
It is. It's about the defense collapsing late.
Okay.
So, like,
just leave it at that.
It's an improvement. So you start to take baby steps, you improve.
Okay.
Now, there are teams that have had success against the against the Niners. It's running the football. And I'm sorry, I don't care if you're going to throw Carson Stale or any other scrub, Kareem Hunt. CEH is back. Woo! Watch out.
Is
Here
he back
comes
officially?
CEH.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
The guy sucks.
Sucks. Also, let's take a look at some numbers here. Because the Niners' defense being a problem, well, statistically, let's take a look. Passing yards allowed per game. San Francisco, 17th. Kansas City, 20th. Rushing yards per game. Everyone thinks you can run all over the Niners. They're still 7th in the league total yards given up on the ground. Kansas City is 5th. Total yards per game, Kansas City's 9th. San Francisco's 11th. And I would argue right now that the strong part of the team in Kansas City is their defense. They're carrying them.
I think that the defense is absolutely carrying them, and
Yes.
I think I give them a slight edge over the Niners, honestly.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
So, and that's what your stats will tell you, okay? So you get a slight edge for Kansas City's defense, okay? But San Francisco, their offense is so much better than Kansas City's right now. It's ridiculous. San Francisco is 2nd in passing, 3rd in rushing, 2nd in total offense, 2nd in yards per play. And a couple more facts for you Brock Purdy haters who would say that all he does is dump the ball off. Brock Purdy's averaged twice as many air yards per attempt, which is 10, than Patrick Mahomes, 5 this season. Purdy's averaged 9.1 air yards per completion compared to Mahomes at just 3.6. And Purdy is also the lowest percentage of pass yards from yards after catch at just 32.8 in the NFL. Literally dead last yards after catch with all those weapons. They are dead last in yards after catch. Mahomes has the highest at 66.7. So who's dumping the ball off now, Mahomes? I don't think the Chiefs care about this game as much as the Niners do. Oh, by the way, throw me your Andy Reid after a bye. 0-2 in his last 2, and when the other teams have bye or extra rest, he is 500 in his career off a bye. So the Andy Reid after bye can go to sleep too. The Niners are winning this game, and if they don't win this game, they'll never beat Mahomes in his life. Give me the Niners -1.
All right. Well, that sounds pretty convincing. Surprised it's not your best bet, honestly.
I got something really fired up.
A lot of passion behind that.
People are going to get dizzy on my best bet.
Okay. Okay. So, like, I'll admit I was actually leaning Chiefs, and then I was doing more research this morning, and I just saw more and more people taking the Chiefs. And whenever I see that, and we've talked about this before, it was a few weeks ago, I think it was the Cowboys, whatever it was. The point is that whenever I see, like, the national, kind of like the Patriots pick, right? The local perspective was like, oh, take Pat's Drake May, right? They're going to cover. If I see more and more people saying that, picking one side, 9 times out of 10, I'm going the other way.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like something smells there. I'm going away from it, and that's what I'm seeing with this game. I've seen so many people on a national scale picking the Chiefs for this one as dogs. They're coming off a bye, all of that. Niners can't beat the Chiefs. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going with the crowd on this one. I'm going the other way. Not a like for me, but It's going to be fun to watch.
It's be a great game. This just to clear things up, I'm not saying Brock Purdy's better than Patrick Mahomes. Just to be clear, he's
no, I
not.
thought that was pretty clear. I would say that if anything, you were saying that Brock Purdy is underrated, which I think he's criminally underrated.
I just want to put that out there. He is criminally underrated, and he's the reason this offense clicks. And he takes them into another level. Oh, I can't hear it. I can't. His weapons have been out.
His weapons suck so far. Besides Deebo Samuel,
that's it. And Kittle's been pretty good.
Kittle's been a stud.
Kittle's been awesome.
Yeah, but like Ayuk's been missing.
Lost. He's made Jennings into when he had to be their big receiver one week, he made him a big receiver one week, right? Like when Deebo missed the game. So like he's played without these guys and he's still playing very well. So also they're getting John Feliciano back on the offensive line, which is huge because their offensive line has not played well.
Okay. Keep that to yourself. I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
Just helping you.
Now this line also says one other thing is that Jordan Mason's probably going to play.
Oh, he's playing.
That's what it says to me.
He's playing. He had a non-contact jersey on.
It's a grade 1 AC joint sprain, which is like a slight pull in your shoulder.
They said
it's a pain management thing, which they can easily take care of.
He'll be fine. He's playing.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to miss this one. All right. Well, there you go. Your third like there, Matt. Yep. My fourth and final like for this slate. Give me the Miami Dolphins plus 3.5 in Indianapolis. I know that Miami's been shitty all year. I get it. I still think that this Miami team is better than what we've seen to this point. Last week with their bye week is the best possible time to get a bye week because Mike McDaniel, I've been saying it over and over, he looks absolutely lost and in his own head, overthinking things when it comes to play calling, and I get that the Tua factor is probably a big part of that. But still, like, we've seen him be successful with the Skylar Thompsons of the world in the past, and I know it's Snoop Huntley now, Tyler Huntley. This gives a breath of fresh air to the entire team and, more importantly, Mike McDaniel. And now we're hearing comments this week that Tua is going to be back this year. Mike McDaniel said that. Not sure when, but there's no timetable. But he was like, I'm pretty optimistic. I'm paraphrasing. He's optimistic that Tua is going to come back. That's going to give the team a huge lift here. Because what's their record? 1-4? Is that what it is?
2-4.
2-4? They're still in it.
2 and 3.
2 and 3. They're in it.
3. Yeah,
they can go on a run here, and they can get right for Tua to make his return here. It sounds like Anthony Richardson's going to be playing for the Colts.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake. Mm-hmm. The Flacco magic thing is real. We saw it last year with the Browns. We all know that, and we're seeing it now again with the Colts. And they're taking him out for Anthony Richardson? What? Has Flacco played at home this year?
Yeah, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Best bet. Even though I was set up for
but
Anthony
it's just like
Richardson.
The home crowd's going to be jacked up to see this Flacco vibe continue here, and they're bringing back Anthony Richardson. Now, obviously, Richardson's the future. I get it. But roll with your hot hand here and give the kid more time coming back from this injury. Now, if Flacco plays, then, all right, maybe I might think a little bit differently on this one, but it sounded like Anthony Richardson was probably going to play.
He's going to play this game.
Yeah. Texans on deck for the Colts as well. So give me the Dolphins to hang on to their season hopes plus 3.5 here.
I had to restrain my hand from betting Indy at home, but it's a spot I don't want. 3.5, I don't want it. Anthony Richardson, he's not going to be 100%, is he? After a hip injury just a couple weeks ago.
I don't know what Jonathan Taylor's status is either.
I don't think he's coming back. He's a high ankle sprain.
But
that's
like,
just 2 weeks. So.
Look at what Richardson's done with his pass catchers.
Yeah, it's not much. It's not great. Flacco is definitely the better passer.
Yeah.
He can give you a little more in the run game. So, yeah, you get the advantage there if he's healthy. I got to see it from Anthony Richardson. I agree with you on the Joe Flacco piece because Steichen's he's a good coach and he is like that's the other part of this like scares me. McDaniel's not been a good coach this year, and I know it's not. I know his quarterback hasn't helped, but I mean even like the design of his plays,
no, it's been bad. It's been bad.
It's been off. So like I want to see it from Miami. I'm watching this. I'll root you home. 3.5. Lean the Dolphins though.
All right, cool. Your fourth and final like here. Looking at Monday Night Football.
Yep, Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay plus 3.5 against the Baltimore Ravens. I get it. Baltimore looks like a well-oiled machine right now, Tuck. They are, right? Running the ball down everyone's throat.
26-year-old Derrick Henry looks like.
Yeah, I had my notes. Looks like he's 25 and in his prime. I mean, it's crazy. He does. It's the thing that you you thought like, oh wow, this is a perfect signing for the Ravens signing Derrick Henry if it was 5 years ago, but his feet have been all messed up, and nope, it's been the exact opposite. He looks great. So, don't really love standing in front of this bus, but the guy I do like supporting is Vita Vea. Huge run stopper for the Bucs, one of the best in the league, and I think he's going to slow down Derrick Henry and that Baltimore rushing attack just enough. Now, look, Lamar's been throwing the ball better than he has in his career, so like to see that. I feel like he's taken another step forward throwing the ball this year, which is good for him because they need to do that, especially come playoff time. But the point here, then the reason I like the Bucs, Baltimore's pass defense is a real problem, and it's not getting better. It's getting worse. And I think Tampa's just got the weapons to expose them a little bit. Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, one of the best duos in the league, specifically Mike Evans in the red zone. Like, he borderline feels unstoppable, and Baker and him are on the same page. Godwin's had an unbelievable bounce-back year. He came off the ACL last year. He was a little bit slow.
Yeah, Godwin's legit.
He didn't look good last year. Now he looks fully back to me. Mm-hmm. So he's giving them another weapon, and Baker's looked unbelievable. We got to give him what he's in the running back situation. Like, okay, what's his name? White was out last week, so they threw in Bucky Irving. He was okay, and then all of a sudden they throw this Sean Tucker in from Syracuse. He was hurt. He would have been drafted had he not been hurt. Good running back. Goes for 150-plus total yards off the bench. That Saints team
gave up.
I mean, it was crazy. So, like, they get the run game going. They have the pass game going. This Tampa offense is rolling right now just as much as Baltimore is. So, I think that there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I also like the over here.
Well,
I just think you're giving me 3.5 with a home dog here, and the other thing is it's Florida, little muggy. Humid night going down to Tampa on Monday night. How do the Ravens adjust to that and the heat? We'll see. Tampa's used to it, so I don't know. You're giving me over a field goal here. Over a field goal, I'm absolutely on the Bucs. 3 or under 3, you could convince me of the Ravens, but I'm taking the Bucs here 3.5.
So this is another one that smells to me. Not your pick, but the total, 49.5. It's at now.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying over.
Well,
that's
if
it's at
49.5, I liked it at 40. I got it at 47.
This reminds me of the Lions and Cardinals total a few weeks ago.
Yeah, maybe.
Where everybody was like, "Oh, that's going to be such a shootout." 20-10 final.
Yeah.
I just think that, and I'm speaking to this, I don't know what side's going to, like, I don't know what to think of this game. I almost picked the Ravens, but I'm off of it. Mm-hmm. But I could totally see the Bucs side of things here. A home point dog in Monday Night Football. Got to love that. But in terms of the total, and you mentioned the Vita Vea thing, like, the Ravens are still going to try to run.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And if it's not working out,
then we'll see.
It's gonna take some time for them to figure out that the run's not working and they got to cut bait with it. But my point is that's going to eat up a lot of clock with no points.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I don't think they're going to come out slinging right away here. I'm cautious with that total. I kind of lean under on that one.
I got it at 47, so I didn't realize it was already up to 49.5 till I'm looking
49.5, right? Crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody's on the over, so that's bringing that total up.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
28-20.
All right, cool. So we got our likes there. Let's go to the rest before we get to the best. Thursday Night Football, Broncos at the Saints. Sean Payton going to New Orleans for the first time since his departure from the Saints organization, and we are looking at Saints as 3-point home dogs here. Point total in this one is 37. This is grossness written all over it, and I am strongly leaning with Sean Payton on this one.
I am disgusted. No, I don't want anything to do with this game, Tucker. I got to be honest.
The Broncos defense versus Spencer Rattler in his second career game.
I'll be watching Boston College, Virginia Tech on one TV a lot closer than I'll be watching this game. I'm not betting this game. This is the first primetime Thursday night game that I will not be on. I refuse.
This is going to be the first Thursday night game I don't watch. This does nothing for me from a viewer's perspective.
It's
garbage game.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler versus Bo Nix. I mean,
this is a preseason matchup.
You could have had me at 2 with Denver. At 3, I'm not laying a field goal on the road with Bo Nix. I don't care who you're playing.
Just a puke fest there, and strong lean to the under, 37.
Move it on. I want to talk about this.
Another London game with the Jaguars, who are there in London for a second straight week. Favored by 5.5 here. Point total on this one is 42.5. Strong lean to the Jaguars. Shocker. I know.
How come not a bet for you?
We mentioned the drops. Offense looks decent for the Jaguars over the past few weeks. The Pats' defense is getting worse by the week. I think they could be overwhelmed by the weapons on this Jaguars offense. I know the Jaguars suck. They're underachieving, but they're not a 1-5 team. Do you think that?
I didn't think that, but I mean,
I've
been saying that the last couple of weeks as I back them.
I say they're closer to like a Miami record than anything. They should be like a game under 500. They shouldn't be 1-5 or 1-4 or whatever.
They shouldn't have lost week 1 to Miami. Remember that comeback Miami had? ETN fumbled the goal line.
Yeah, this line smells to me that a lot of people are going to take the Pats again because they saw Drake May throw 3 touchdowns. But if you heard any of Mayo's comments again today, it sounds like we're going to get a different starting offensive line for the Patriots again.
What is
just
going
constantly,
on?
Dude, they have no
7
depth.
straight?
No depth at all. They're talking about putting Owenu at right tackle instead of guard now, and who the hell are you going to get at left tackle, whether it's Trey Jacobs? It's just a mess. Their starting center they just picked up off the practice squad, Ben Brown from the Raiders, who actually did well last week, but still, that's the principle. It's just like your starting center just came off the Raiders practice squad. Think about that. Good find, I guess, but that's where we're at.
You keep switching. You're not giving the line a chance to gel together, ever. They've had 6 different offensive line starters in 6 weeks. Now it'll be 7, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing.
Not to mention the Jaguars have been there. And this is Gerard Mayo, his first time as head coach, going overseas in London. Mix that with a rookie quarterback, I think it's got a potential for a disaster.
There was a lot to like last week with Drake May. There was a lot that I think is getting over. When this game was close.
What game?
The Houston game. It was early.
It wasn't
First
close.
half, it was 14. He made it 14-7. A beautiful pass.
I understand what the scoreboard said,
but
it wasn't close.
But the point is, the closer the score, the less impressive he was to me. As they started to pin their ears back and say, I have to come get you, I'm going to do that. Now, I was on Drake May props last week, Tuck. I think we talked about this. I bet him at 175, 200, 225, 250.
Good call.
And the idea and the concept there was it has to be game plan. You weren't going to stay in that game with running the ball. And once Ramondre Stevenson got ruled out, I'm like, what are they going to do? They're not going to run the ball with Antonio Gibson 30 times. So this is a lesson for the people. If you ever see a QB that has a line that you really like their passing yards, and the running back's out and they're on a shitty team, play the ladder.
I don't know what
play the ladder.
I don't know if Stevenson's going to play in this game or make the trip. I have no idea. He could, for all I know.
I don't know if it matters. I cannot. On the flip side, I can't bet the Jags again. I can't do it. -5.5. Who are the Jags to lay 5.5 on anyway? I get it. I get it, but they
can do it against this Patriots team. I'm telling you, dude. This Patriots team, at the end of this year, everybody's going to be questioning if this is one of the worst teams ever assembled. I'm not kidding.
I don't. It's bad. We've known it's bad.
It's really bad.
If there is 0 chance, please tell me this. 0 chance Doug Peterson keeps his job if he loses.
Oh no, yeah. If he loses to this Patriots team, he's gone. He's not going to go in the flight.
They should fire him and tell him to leave his passport and make him walk home from London.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
Through the water.
Yeah, walk right through. Exactly.
Through the friggin' Atlantic.
Exactly that. Figure it out, Moana.
So I'm.
See you later.
It calls me.
Yeah.
Strong lean to the Jags here, but it's a weird line, so I'm ultimately staying away here. All right, Bengals at Browns. Bengals getting 6.5 points. Now I'm seeing 6 on DraftKings, so some money's coming in on the Browns here. Browns 6-point home dogs. Point total on this one is 42, Matt.
Cleveland. You can't. Who is Cincinnati? Cincinnati lucky to cover that game Sunday night against the Giants.
I don't understand
what's terrible.
I don't understand why they got this Deshaun Watson thing, man. I don't.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm off it. But like, and I know they just traded Cooper, but Nick Chubb's back. He'll be limited, but like he's gonna be back. He wrote something in the Players Tribune today, got everyone all fired up.
Cute.
You know. No, I like that. For Chubb. He's
I like
like
Chubb.
saying that he's like, I'm made for this town. Like I've worked hard to get back. Like I love Chubb, so I'm rooting for Chubb.
Mine too.
I'll tell you what, Cincinnati, I'm done. Joe Burrow fluke 44-yard touchdown run in the first quarter. Then they do nothing until the very end of the game where Chase Brown breaks one and scores a touchdown where a lot of teams are going to tell your guy to slide and go down so you just win. He scores. That's how they covered that number.
That total last week, by the way, the
Gross.
Bengals and Giants was 47.
Gross.
17-7 final score.
Disgusting team.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Cincy, man.
Cincy's not right. I don't know. I can't get there with them, and I certainly am not laying a touchdown. I don't care if they just traded Amari Cooper.
They got to win out. They got to win out here. Cincinnati does.
I can win, but 6? I mean, that went from like
that's a lot.
4 to 6.5.
That's a lot. That's a lot for a divisional game.
Too much.
We have the Eagles and Giants. Speaking of the Giants 3-point home dogs here to take on that clown Sirianni and the Philadelphia Eagles. Point total on this one is 43.
Lean the Giants for me. If Neighbors is back, it might be a play, but I think the number goes down.
Daniel Jones just sucks at home, though.
Yeah, he sucks.
The crowd
sucks
gets
in prime time. He sucks
that
in prime
too,
time.
Yeah. Neighbors coming back is going to be massive.
I don't like what I'm seeing out of Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts looks terrible. Just terrible.
Not from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, he throws 2 long passes a game, and cool.
Runs one.
Take your 1 run. 1 yard.
Hurts hasn't looked great for the past 2 years.
No, I know. It's been they've won they're 4 and what in the last they're disgusting over the last backstretch of their year. They ended 1 in 7 or something in the year.
Whatever was stupid.
They're terrible.
Yeah. All right, we have the Panthers and Commanders. This line keeps moving in the Commanders' favor. I saw this at 7.5. It's now at 8. Point total on this one is 51.5. That seems high with the Panthers' offense.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Why is Carolina playing Andy Dalton? I get it. We experimented. He brought
they've given
some life,
up on Bryce Young.
But
it's as simple as that.
You can give up on the guy, but if you have any semblance of trying to trade him at all, even if it's for nothing, a 7th round pick, just let him play. And you guys suck. You're not doing anything else.
Well, that's the thing. They've let him play, and they're not getting any points.
I guess, but they're not doing anything with Andy Dalton. It's the same old Andy Dalton.
I know,
lose anyways. I'd rather play the young kid.
It's the same thing with the Patriots and Jacoby Brissett. If you keep rolling out the same guy, your locker room's going to be like, what the hell are we doing? At least we have a chance to win with Andy Dalton.
I guess.
I understand your point in terms of the future and everything, but Young's not the guy.
You played him right out of the gate, and he's not been good. I get it. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying I don't know.
That line. So the Commanders line smells to me, considering that so much money's pouring in on the Commanders.
Yeah, I teased them.
It's 88% is going on the Commanders spread of 8. 88%. I mean, they just played the Ravens in a very tight matchup. I could see them kind of falling asleep on this one and keeping this surprisingly close.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a lot to trust the Commanders.
Tight on the scoreboard, but it wasn't tight in the box score. That was a blowout. If you guess the score after looking at the box score, you'd think the Ravens won by 2 touchdowns. I don't know.
Raiders in L.A. to take on the Rams coming off a bye week. I've seen this total move from 6.5 to 7. It's now at 7 now, favoring the Rams as of Wednesday afternoon. Point total on this one is 43.5. I'd lean Raiders covering on this one. I think a weight has been lifted from that locker room in terms of the Devontae Adams factor finally being off the team and with a disgruntled player leaving the team. I think that gives them focus and kind of a new energy. And this is one of those organizations where I said it a couple weeks ago, playing in L.A., strong fan base, you got to consider that. And it's not a far ride for Vegas fans. So I lean. And by the way, maybe some old Oakland fans are going to travel to L.A. for this
battle
one
of
too.
L.A. here.
So it's going to be a field of or a sea of silver and black, I think, out there in L.A. But still, I think Cooper Kupp's going to play. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. It seems like he's trending in that direction. Kyron Williams is probably going to destroy the Raiders' front here. I don't know. I just couldn't pick a direction on this one.
Yeah, I'm off it. I saw the Rams at 4.5 on Sunday, and I was like, "Oh, get to 4, come down." and I got greedy, and now it's up at 6.5. I can't get there. I leaned Vegas at that number, but I'm not betting this game.
All right, well, time for our best bets here on the show. As we mentioned earlier, I'm 4-2 on best bets. Matt is 4-1-1 on best bets. So we'll touch on mine first here. Might be a square play, but give me the Pittsburgh Steelers home dogs here, plus 1.5 to take on the New York Jets coming off of Monday Night Football against the Bills. This is just the perfect combination of Steelers being the home dogs and the Jets on the verge, if they're not already, of being a disaster. I think that the Davante Adams trade acquisition just screams of like desperation and panic, and you're just bowing at the knee or bending the knee to that of Aaron Rodgers. Like, this guy is a 40-year-old quarterback who's looked like shit for the past few years, and you're putting your entire stock into him. Like, I guess you have no other choice at this point, but he doesn't look the same, man.
No.
And Davante Adams, he's coming off a hamstring injury. Like, it's not even a guarantee he's going to play on Monday Night Football. Now I think he's going to magically make that happen. Yeah, exactly. So it's just a panic move, and the offense still, it's going to take weeks for them to adapt.
Yeah.
You know, Garrett Wilson seems like a guy who's going to be pissed off if he's not seeing the ball frequently. And now if Rodgers is going to be peppering Davante Adams, I could see that pissing off Wilson. And there's a lot of quarterbacks about the Steelers quarterback situation. Tomlin said yesterday that he is weighing putting in Russell Wilson. It's under consideration is what he said as the starter. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I mean, they've won with Justin Fields. They can win with Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, I know that everybody's been shitting on him, but last year with the Broncos, he looked pretty good, actually. I know he had his moments. He's not the prime time or the prime Russell Wilson that we've seen with the Seahawks, but he was fine last year. I like his fit with the Steelers in this offense. So I don't care who the starter is this week. And Najee Harris looked damn good last week.
Yeah.
I know it was the Raiders, but still. You can run on this Jets defense. That's for sure. So I love the Pittsburgh Steelers as home dogs on primetime television. It's as simple as that. Oh, and Mike Tomlin's like, this is the second week in a row I've had to prepare for Davante Adams.
Ah, yeah.
He made that comment. I like that. I like that factor. Give me Tomlin and the Steelers Monday Night Football plus 1.5 versus the shitbag Jets.
All right, buddy. Well, I can't get there with you on this one.
Why?
I listen, I'm not betting the Jets either. I'm telling you right now. I'm not doing it again. I've been in Jets purgatory last 2 weeks. I'm not doing it.
Well, it's 3 straight weeks on the podcast where
you
we've
were on
lost with the Jets.
Yeah, so I'm not making it a fourth where we lose with the Jets. You can enjoy the Steelers.
It's a good spot.
I'll root you home. Here's the thing. I hate Russell Wilson. I think this is where we differ, and I think Tomlin's making a mistake if he puts him in because Justin Fields,
Roethlisberger said that too, by the way. He said it would be a mistake if they pulled Justin Fields.
Here's what I think, because I did hear him make this comment, and I'm wondering if he's playing a game with Jeff Ulbrich.
He could.
Be like, new head coach, now you got to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. Like, I know he promised Wilson the job in the summer, but, like, Justin Fields is playing pretty well, and the way you can beat the Jets, and it's what happened the other night, it's the only reason Buffalo won, was because Josh Allen, when he needed to, which was quite often, had to leave the pocket, make plays with his feet, and they had no answer for it. They couldn't stop him running the ball. Not that he ran a ton, but just every pass he's rolling out, he's getting away. And, like, yes, Russ can do that, but that's where Russ stepped back last year. That was the difference. As a rusher, Russell Wilson's nowhere near where he used to be. Where Justin Fields is an electric factory. You could argue he's a better runner than he is passer.
So, definitely.
So that's where the value of Fields is. And against this Jets team, I actually really like the Steelers if Fields played in that game. So if you're going to actually play Russ, I don't like that. That's a negative thing. On the flip side, the Adams trade to me is, I know we're going to focus on Rodgers to Adams. I think it's actually going to, they needed to do something because they got to free up Garrett Wilson a little bit. Like, the defenses are just like, go ahead,
that's why they
Allen,
signed Mike
Lazard,
Williams.
Go beat me. Mike Williams has lost the last 2 games for the Jets.
They're going to trade him. Yeah.
He against the Vikings, didn't adjust to the back shoulder throw, and Gilmore did. And then last week, they're driving down again to go take the lead, and Williams falls down, like just a mess, gets picked off, and that was the end of that game. He's lost them 2 straight games, like maybe not just him, because it's a team thing, but the last 2 plays, the Jets driving, Mike Williams has filled them. Done with Mike Williams if you're the Jets. You bring in Devontae Adams, he makes both of those plays, and that's 2 games that they could have won where they lost. So I'm not totally out on the Jets. I think they made this trade at the right time because if they're going to save their season, they need to do something. I don't love the game. I can't get.
What's your number at?
Well, it depends who plays quarterback, to be honest.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, I make the Steelers a slight favorite, 1-point favorite.
Russell Wilson.
I make them a 1-point dog. So
okay,
it's just like situational. It's right through the flip.
Honestly, this is more of a experience with Tomlin thing and the Jets being the Jets pick. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
And the Steelers' defense is top 3 defense too.
I don't hate it. I just can't bet it. I'm justifying why I'm not betting it, but I'm not against you in any way. I want to see it from Russ. There's so much unknown in this, you know.
I get it. Best bet. Best bet.
Best bet for me. All right. Everyone's going to be thrilled about this one. We're going back to Monday Night Football just because I love the 2 games on Monday night, so why not bet them both?
Monday Night Football, best bets.
2 games.
Oh, boy.
What could go wrong? And you're going to love this. Give me Arizona +3. Monday Night Football in the desert where the Chargers visit the Cardinals. And Arizona's...
I'm sorry. Sunday is the Steelers 4:30. I thought that was an 8:20 game. My bad. Keep going.
Yeah, no worries. Arizona back home. No elements to deal with like last week, Tuck.
Wait. Steelers play Sunday night prime time. Yeah, I'm right. My eyes are playing. See, numbers, man. I suck at numbers.
Well, you said
even time I suck at. I'm in radio.
We got 2 Monday night games. The Ravens and the Bucks are on Monday Night Football next week. And then the Cardinals and Chargers are on
No,
Monday
I'm
Night
honestly,
Football.
my eyes are playing tricks with me.
Okay.
It's Sunday night, Steelers, prime time.
Yes.
That's what I meant.
Yep.
Monday Night Football, Cardinals, Chargers, and then the Ravens, Bucks.
Yep, both of them.
Okay.
All right.
Give me a pick.
Arizona +3. Arizona back home. No elements like last week in Green Bay. They'll be indoors where we like them. We told you last week that Kyler never wins that game. He always gets blown out, and shocker, he got blown out. So let's dig in. Why do I like Arizona and not the Chargers? Because,
with or without Marvin Harrison?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page.
It does not matter.
I don't think he's going to play.
I don't care.
Okay.
I'd love him to. If he plays, and I'm going to love it. But, to be honest, Harrison really isn't moving the needle right yet. He hasn't been that great this year, which is a rookie. It is what it is. Okay, now let's go back and let's dig in on this one a little bit, right? Okay, so Arizona, get ready for these stats. You ready?
Yeah.
24th in passing, 7th in rushing, 15th total offense, 10th in yards per play. All right, kind of a middling offense, right? The Chargers, 29th in passing, 10th in rushing, 28th in total offense, 25th in YPP. Very bad offense for the Chargers. They're just not good. They run the ball. They have a good line. They want to bully you. That's a Harbaugh style.
Put up points last week on the Broncos defense.
They did a couple turnovers, though, early from Bo Nix, and then, short field, that does it.
Yeah, Harbaugh took advantage.
Now let's look at the defense, right? Because we got to be fair. I give Arizona the slight edge on offense. Now let's look at the defense. Against the pass, Arizona is 22nd in the league. Terrible. Bottom third. Against the run, they're 29th in the league. That's even worse, right? Mm-hmm. Almost worse than the league. Total yards per game, 28th. 4th worst in the league. And their YPP is 28th in the league. So Arizona just not playing well on defense. The Chargers, 8th against the pass, 6th against the run, 6th in total defense, 8th in yards per play. So now you are about to ask me, and to everyone else, if they could ask me right now, like, why on earth are you betting the Cardinals? You're just throwing all these stats that support the Chargers. And I understand that. But we have to do one thing. You can't just look at stats and throw out that as your handicap.
Sure.
I don't think the Chargers' offense is good enough to take care of that against that Arizona defense. And here's why, Tuck. Let's actually take a look. Arizona's schedule thus far, at Buffalo, the Rams, who they blew out, Detroit, Washington, San Francisco, and Green Bay. The Arizona defense is struggling because they've played 5 of the best offenses in the NFL and a banged-up Rams team who they absolutely blew out of the water. So that's their schedule. Now let's look at the Chargers because their defense is so good, right? Well, guess what? And keep in mind their offensive numbers absolutely suck. Vegas, at Carolina with Bryce Young, at Pittsburgh, Kansas City, bye week, at Denver. Kansas City's the one offense who we could talk about being remotely good. And we've already talked about Kansas City and said that their defense is definitely the strength of their team. 17-10. Okay? So, to me, their offense is they can run the ball. That is it. And I'm sorry.
The wideouts suck.
The wideouts suck. Justin Herbert sucks. This goes back to last year. He's not very good. He's an average NFL quarterback that everyone wants to put on this pedestal. And quite honestly, he's overrated.
Yeah, I'm off the Herbert train.
So give me Arizona. The value here is on Arizona. The stats are lying to you. Arizona's the better team. They will not only cover this number with or without Harrison, they're going to win it outright. Give me the Arizona Cardinals +3, best bet.
You like the money line, too.
Money line. Sprinkled.
Ooh. All right. There you go, folks. Best bet. Arizona Cardinals +3 there. All right. Just a quick recap here for Week 7. We have, for our likes, first like for me, Packers -2.5. Double like, Lions +2.5. Bills -8.5. Miami +3.5. And for you, Matt, we have Seattle +3. Double like I mentioned, Detroit Lions +2.5. San Francisco 49ers beating the Chiefs -1. Tampa Bay Bucks +3.5 home dogs there. Best bet for me, Steelers +1.5. Cardinals +3 for Matt.
Dogs dominating our cards. Love it.
I love it. Well, we said at the beginning that the Dogs had a bad couple of weeks here, so it's time to have their day now. Right?
Start barking.
All right. There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. YouTube, X, Instagram. Please do that if you haven't done so. Like us on Apple and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star review. And we'll see you guys again next week. Unless you have any final closing thoughts?
Nothing.
All right, cool. Bye, everyone.
See ya.
Another 5-0 week.